How's it going, guys and gals? My name is Beckett, and welcome back to another Beckett React video. Today we are going back to the world of Jubilee with Middle Ground. And today, I've recorded two of the... I know I recorded one of these already. I may have recorded two. No, yes I have. But I thought to myself, because the last one I watched was pretty short, I didn't have much I wasn't able to have much of my input in it, so I thought I'd do another one. I'm trying to think which one I could do, and even I say for a short one, but it's 27 minutes long. It'll probably be a lot longer now that I'll be interjecting into it all the time. Today is something, but I thought I'd react to the video in which I'd say relates to me quite a bit. Has social media harmed these teens? Me personally, no. For me, thanks to social media, I've been able to know what I want from life. Social media has helped me know what I want in life. I mean, without I wouldn't be able to do this, what I'm doing right here, making videos for you all, and I love doing this. Making these videos is something that I just enjoy doing, and I just love doing it. So, I know being on social media can be harmful to people. I mean, you don't spend over 10 years on the internet and not know that it does that. Well, probably even less than probably 5 years. I know that it does that. I haven't experienced it myself, but I know that there are people out there who've had a bad experience with social media through just negative comments and negative people on there. And nowadays, it's just anyone will just take a stab at anything, and it's just really, I think nowadays it's really easy to, like, unless you know about, I think if you come at it like blindly, it's very easy to get swept up and like harmed by all of it. But unless you have experience, like I feel that with me, I've had it easier off, because I was born in 2002, so I was kind of slowly, because I don't think back then social media was as bad as it is now. It was still, I think when it was around, it was still, for what was around, it was still pretty bad. But I don't think just negativity was as bad as it was, or at least I didn't perceive it that way. And so I kind of I'm lucky. I feel lucky that I was born at a time when I could see the change in social media and how everything just changed to be more negative, and how it could and because I was on social media, I was able to see from other people's experiences how it could be damaging. So I was able to learn as it got worse how to deal with it. I'm happy that I'm able to deal with it, because if I couldn't, I don't think I'd be able to do a lot of what I do, because I have received my fair share of negative comments on videos, mostly on TikTok, but a few are here on YouTube as well. It's because of the fact that I love doing these videos so much, because I love it doing it for myself, and I love doing it for those of you who do enjoy it, and it's because I'm aware that no one can be pleased nowadays, that I don't like it, I just ignore them. Anyway, I feel like I'm tangenting a bit here and looping it back on myself, so without any further ado, let's watch Middle Ground's Has Social Media Harmed These Teens? Let's go. Warning, this video contains language about self-harm. If you or someone you know needs help, you can call the Suicide Prevention Hotline. Yes, that. Right, very important.
More recently, I did have a hate account on Instagram. They told me to kill myself and told me that I was ugly and that I looked like a clown. But then I realized they're only making fun of me because I'm giving them attention about it.
I'm pro social media because I like to send memes to my grandma, I like to keep connected with my friends, but most importantly, I think it's a useful platform and tool.
I didn't know what a trans guy was before I was on TikTok. I just thought I was a masculine girl.
I have social media, but like I don't use them. I kind of just have enough posts that doesn't make me seem like a loser.
I find it really toxic because everything's based off numbers. I just want to see how pro social media has helped their life because it hasn't really helped me as a person.
I'm a content creator on TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat. I'd say that I would make like $30,000 to $40,000 a month.
I'm anti-social media because of the present algorithms in place.
I'm sorry, got it back to how much?
A month. Instagram, Snapchat. I'd say that I would make like $30,000 to $40,000 a month.
$30,000 to $40,000 a month. Jesus Christ. And it's not like that. No, it's not like it's 1,000. It's 30,000. I am hearing that right. Right? It's not.
I would make like 30 to 40.
30. Yeah. It's the tens of thousands. Fucking Christ. Good on her, I guess. Doing better than me.
$1,000 a month.
I'm anti-social media because of the present algorithms in place.
So do you think Instagram is the most detrimental social media?
No, I think TikTok is. Because it's manipulating their users and taking so much information from them, and they're showing that through the For You page, and people don't care.
Hi, I'm Alexa. I'm 18 years old and I'm pro social media. And I love social media just because of the culture it brings.
Hi, I'm Phillips, plural. I am on the pro side, and I just like to spread awareness.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm 16. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, and a little bit of YouTube. And I am pro social media because it helped me meet a lot of other trans kids when I was struggling.
Hi, I'm Ella. I'm 15 and I'm anti-social media because I find it really toxic and competitive for myself.
Hi, I'm Emma. I'm 18, and I am anti-social media, and I'm the CEO of a movement that works to kind of promote a healthier existence on social media.
My name is Emmy. I'm 16. I'm anti-social media because of personal experience and like general anxiety.
I want the pro social media people to go on the left. Anti-social media people on the right. I'm going to read out the prompt. If you agree, step forward, and if you disagree, stay put. I spend more than 3 hours on social media daily.
No, not daily. Because for me, it's more of sometimes. Because not daily. No, there are days where I probably there are days where I probably am on social media for that amount of time, but not daily.
I definitely find myself scrolling for hours when I'm bored, and I definitely get sucked in and I can't stop.
For me, a lot of my school stuff got pushed to social media, all the clubs and orgs. Another one that's more personal to me is that keeps you in touch with your family. All my family's in Vietnam, so yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of my friends are online, and I'm just like on their accounts, you know, like hyping them up or just like texting them on Instagram because I don't like to use regular text.
It's definitely my #1 source of entertainment. I don't watch as much YouTube or Netflix, and I kind of just go through TikTok, and like that's what brings me joy sometimes.
Yeah, TikTok is easy.
Yeah.
So,
Short
like-
attention spans.
Oh yeah.
You get sucked in, like you go on for like 30 minutes and then you're just there forever, and that happens to me all the time.
But sometimes I spend more time comparing myself to others. Oh, I'm not getting that many likes, and it kind of brings me down.
But if I went on TikTok and I kind of just analyzed everyone and just was like trying to compare myself, then it would definitely bring me down. But just as a content creator, I just have the mindset of like, oh, this is what you make, and maybe I can make it differently.
I want the disagrees to come forward.
Prior to a movement I started called Log Off, I spent about 5 hours on social media a day, and it was to talk with my sister who was in college, but I also got really bad repercussions about my body, and I felt really terrible after scrolling. But you know, after I rethought about how I wanted to spend my time on there, it became much more productive. So I still spend time on like Instagram. It's just to like get a meme from my college sister or to like talk with friends that really.
Something I want to know. It's sort of related to this, but it's something that two people have already brought up already, and I want to know why, or why people do. Why some people do it. What's up with SMS texting? like, and it might just be a thing of like it's something that it might just be a thing of it doesn't it's less of a, like on the phone bill maybe to like not text, but shit. Yeah. So like it's free. So it's it's free to text on like a normal phone bill. And with the exception of pictures, because I know sending pictures does cost a little bit for like data purposes, but like, the those of you who are watching this video, if you use like WhatsApp or Discord or Instagram or whatever, or Facebook Messenger, all like online social sort of messaging sites, if you use that for standard messaging. Why is that? Apart from if it's group texting, because I know that that doesn't really work with like SMS texting. But if it's like one to one person, why don't you use SMS texting? I mean, it doesn't need internet. It's easy to use. I'm just curious because I mean I don't really I use text a lot. I'm more of a I don't tend to use like messages if like unless I'm on the computer and Discord's open, I might use the DMs there to send someone message. But 95% of the time I'll use I use the standard text message app because it's, in my mind, it's better, easier, and simpler. I'm just curious, why do people use like Instagram or social media texting? If it's just like one person, apart from if not like a group.
Bring me up.
I have an Instagram, I have a TikTok, but like I never open the app like ever. I'm clearly not the skinniest, and like I have alopecia, so I'm losing my hair, and like I'll look on social media and like I'll see some like K-pop star and they're like a 00 with the longest hair on the planet, and they're like their skin is silk smooth. And when I take pictures, no matter what I do, you can see the whites of my scalp. So I don't take photos, and because I don't take photos, I don't have anything to post, and because I don't have anything to post, I don't see a point in opening the app. Plus, I'd rather spend my time reading.
I used to be more meek and mild. I was just like, oh no, they're gonna comment I'm ugly, and they're gonna hate on me. But then when TikTok started blowing up, one of my videos blew up, and I was just like, hey, they don't hate me. And I was just like, oh, okay, the confidence, it's coming in.
And I get 100 notifications a day from my best friend saying, I found this new video you would love. And I'll click on it occasionally, and I love the video because it's funny, it's short, and it like matches my personality. But it makes me really upset when like I FaceTime with my friend and she's scrolling through TikTok. It's really scary to see my friends kind of disconnect with me and just connect with these people they've never met.
What do you think is the misconception pro-social media people would have about people who are anti-social media?
That we're narcs and that we kind of hate social media like parents hate social media. I don't think they really know our stories and know why exactly we don't want to exist on the platforms in the way that they are.
I've had hurtful things posted about me, and the thing about the internet, it's there forever, and it's not like a word that was just said to me on the playground. It's something that's out there and other people can see.
Social media makes you anti-social.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, I can fully agree to that. There have been times when I've been sat at a friend's house. Actually, I think there's been a few times quite recently. There was one time in last month at Rally Day. We went back to some of our friends' house who we were at the event with, and there was one point, I think. I mean, this is one example of several moments in the 2 or 3 maybe years, I can't remember how long it is now, 2 or 3 years that we've known each other, or like the whole group's known each other. We were all sat in the living room, all on our phones. The TV was on and everything, but no one was paying attention to it that much. I was on my phone. I look up and it's just on phone. Everyone was on the phones. So yes, it does. I have several memories to prove it.
there can be communities found within social media, but my personal experience with it, and from a lot of stories that I've heard through Log Off, is that a lot of kids have lost people because of social media. And I think that that constant mindless scrolling allows you to kind of go into this bubble and just hunker down and to not really talk with people.
I know a bunch of kids that like don't know how to communicate outside of like an emoji or like outside of like a picture, or like only have one picture face, and like will repeatedly take the same, like we'll stop everyone in the friend group to pick a wall and just sit there and pose and take 100 photos and stand there and wait. They're like, no, take one more.
I definitely like would base.
I'm not a heavy emoji user. And I don't take, and I'm barely a selfie person. I don't take photos of myself.
Like entire friend groups to hang out and just take pictures. Like we wouldn't communicate, it would just be pictures just to post on Instagram. And then I would find myself that like we didn't even connect when we were hanging out. It wasn't quality time, because I feel like, oh, I have to get that perfect photo of all of us looking like we're having fun. Even if we're not, I just need to get that so I can post it.
After a while, you feel the pressure and everything. People start being people, and they're just empty profile pictures. People will come to me and they won't know my name. They'll go by my screen name. And then I'm just like, am I human?
I like to ask questions in comments and ask like, oh, where'd you get that? Or, you know, like, what hair dye did you use? Or something like that, because I think it's a lot more engaging. Or I like to, sometimes I'll make my post, I'll make it a question, like the caption. I like to interact with like a lot of my followers through comments, because I'm uncomfortable, you know, messaging them personally. It's good to like interact with the people that support you.
But what would you say to like bigger influencers like Kylie Jenner or like Kim Kardashian that can't have that interaction via the comments?
Yeah, and then Alex, some people just don't even reply to you. They'll just double tap, like the message.
Going off what you said about like making real human connection, have you ever like looked into like social media accounts that like promote that? Because I don't know if you guys know, We're Not Really Strangers. If you guys know them, they have a card game. You don't know. Okay, so it's basically a card game where you have perception, analysis, and then reflection, and then you just have conversation like, or how are you really, or you know, what would you name the chapter of this in your life? And then boom, we're in a 20-minute conversation that like she feels really low.
I don't mean to cut her off, but I'm only doing it because I know for sure that if you haven't seen a lot of my videos with the guys in them, you'll know that we don't take many things seriously. And I've got the feeling that if we tried that, it wouldn't go as planned. people would start making jokes, and it would just derail so quickly.
When she's trying to change, and you know, and I would have never thought that if this social media account didn't push me or didn't encourage me to have deeper conversations.
I agree, but I think the issue is with the algorithm in place. Like, that's not popping up on my feed. Like, I don't know that those exist. And because it's so expansive, and because there's so much hollowness and mindless scrolling, like, I've never found that. If I found that, I would have loved that.
With the algorithm and the fact that you never see those things, like, I always feel like we're on a whole different side of TikTok than you are, and all it takes is just to look up, like, deep conversations on the internet. There would have been a Vogue article about We're Not Really Friends, and then you would have looked it up, you know? So in order to change your algorithm, you just have to change the things that you're looking for.
But don't you think maybe, like, the algorithm in place is what's making it so dangerous? Because it's like they're pumping out these really terrible kind of like content videos, but also you've got like the attention economy where they're like fighting to get your information to then give to people, to put ads in your feed that you won't notice.
Even if you're not on social media, you know it's gonna do that anyway. Like if you're searching anything up, like if you're searching something up on Safari and you go onto your computer, onto Chrome, the ads will probably be the same. You know,
Right.
it's just
the internet.
It's just technology, you
Right.
know.
I sat down here saying that social media makes people antisocial, but hearing Alexa and Alex speak, it makes me remember that social media isn't just, you know, the whole TikTok scene. It's also schools. There's clubs and stuff. I've made a couple new friends from social media because they live in Ventura, I live in San Diego. So I don't think it's necessarily just the whole big fame thing. There's also the smaller groups.
Yeah, I mean, in the group that I play games all the time. I met them through TikTok mainly, most of them. And then So Yain, Stacey, and Sinead, as probably mentioned many times, I've met through TikTok, and then obviously through Yain was the rest of the group. So yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to say social media changed my life. I'm more confident. I actually think about what I wear. I used to just roll out of bed, grab what's near. I do see how social media can be bad, but I like to think of it in a positive light.
I have been bullied on social media.
No. Well, I think it's the fact of people have ever like had that intention, and I've never not really given a shit. Yeah. Yeah, it's never really been that sort of I've never really been affected by that sort of stuff that much. At least not on social media. In person, it's a bit more. I was a bit more. Easily, like, people got to me very easily back in the day when I was in person. I mean, some might even argue that they're popular. I still do, but definitely, it was definitely more in person than online, if anything.
I know you guys remember like those Musically days. I feel like that was my biggest bullying because it's like when it's just like entering a whole different society. It's just like when you're going out, you're making videos. You don't really know what you want to post or what you want to do or what you want to look like. So it is going to be cringy at first, and it's not going to be great.
Musically was definitely a dark time. More recently, I did have a hate account on Instagram. They like told me to kill myself and told me that like because I was upset about my pet dying that I should kill myself and that I like was ugly and that I looked like a clown.
Sorry. Let me just rewind a bit. Just make sure.
Told me to kill myself and told me that like because I was upset about my pet dying that I should kill myself and.
Where's the logic in that? It's a pet. It's a loved. It's loved. They're gonna cry. I mean, well, they're gonna feel emotional and sad about it. What? I mean, dickish move, but also makes no sense whatsoever. On the person who said it, not, yeah. But whoever said that, dick move, mate.
And that I like was ugly and that I looked like a clown. And yeah, I really let it get to me for a long time. But then I realized, you know, like they're only making fun of me because I'm giving them attention about it. So I just had to like, block them from all my accounts and block all the people they were following and block all the people that were following them. And then I just had to stop looking. And if I don't look at it, then I don't know what they're saying.
Right, and that's the thing. It's just like once you stop looking into it, you just stop feeding the fire and it will die eventually because you just don't even pay attention.
I don't have a big following, so it's basically mostly people I know. Usually it's TikToks, and it's not with my name in it, but you can tell that it's implied towards me. And I try not to comment, but like there's some points where they're coming out and saying like completely false things about me. Posting and hating on someone through the internet is completely different from in person because it's there forever. You don't have
one thing that one of the things she just said there reminded me of was I don't know what it is, but I think it happens quite a bit. It just hasn't happened to me in a while. There was this commentary video that someone posted about. I don't know what the fuck it was, but it was obviously it was something about tagging those people who apparently do like really nasty shit to people or something. I can't remember. Whatever it was something that people kept getting tagged in for being for being like dickheads or being like really nasty people, whatever. I was tagged. Apparently, I think it was some sort of like body shaming. What? I've never once in my life done that. It was like a really weird thing, like, ugh.
have control over that because it's up to them to delete it.
So I have had rude comments been made about me, but I've never been like heavily cyberbullied because I don't really have a big following and because of the community that I'm in. I've just read hundreds of stories about kids who like felt like they wanted to kill themselves because of the rude comments they were getting. And I just remember like there were nights when I would cry and I'd be so upset because I couldn't really do anything about it.
My cyberbullying experience, the first like big one, I was in like this like dance team, right? And I was the shortest kid, the fattest kid, and like one of like 3 Asians. So I clearly stuck out no matter what I did. And you know, like after practice, like all the girls would like do that like 2014 like ass out like and like the duck face thing pose. One day, like one of them like invited me to take the photo with them, and I thought like this was the only way you could pose on Instagram. So like I did it, and then they took the photo and they were all like laughing and they started uploading it. I didn't know why. Over like the next 2.5, 3 years, they would continuously like bring me into the photo. Like I would never just go up. They'd always ask me, hey, do you want to be in the photo? Do you want to be in the photo? So I felt like I was being included. But when I like got a phone and when I got an Instagram and when I started following like my fellow dance team members, I would look at their Instagrams and like from the beginning, it's photos of me. They'll zoom in on me and they'll be like, look at that fat thing, that fucking monster. Like, is it trying to pose? Like, what does that thing think it is? Like, do they think they're cute? I was in like fucking elementary school. Like, I don't know how to deal with myself. Like, I barely know how to open a peanut butter jar, and you expect me to know how to deal with people calling me it and like a monster, you know what I mean?
Social media can cause young people to hurt themselves.
Yeah. Because I say it again. Nowadays, and for the past few years, it's been a dangerous place, social media. It really has, because it's come to the part where it's really easy, because you can do anything and someone will have something negative to say about it, and that can go on the road to someone literally telling someone else to hurt, involving the harm of a young person. So 100% yes. Everyone goes down. I thought as much.
Instagram, TikTok, everything is the highlight reel. My Instagram, I'm not gonna post the ugliest picture of me. When I scroll through my friends, in the back of my head, I should know that's the same for them. Yet I'm like, they look so pretty. Why do I not look like that? And I think for younger generations, it's really scary that they're gonna have to deal with this.
I have this one photo that's so vivid in my memory, and like, I'm at like an aquarium and I'm leaning against like one of the fish tanks, and my dad and my brother are next to me, and I'm like half my brother's height, my face just sagging, my body, like my clothes don't fit on me, and I'm like, at that time I didn't realize how depressed I was and how much these dance photos were ruining me. That's kind of when I knew like social media is not something I'm not safe here, you know? And so an excuse I can make for not pleasing people online is that I don't use it, and then I'll be okay.
The bad thing about social media is like if you have a bad friend in real life and your mom's like avoid them, don't be next to them and stuff, but on social media you almost can't avoid them. And I feel like that's where like a lot of kids can get hurt because they comment rude things on your things, or they don't share the same opinions, and those friends are horrible, you know?
I don't know how Tumblr is now because I don't go on it, but there are a lot of like self-harm pages and eating disorder pages with like ideas to make yourself lose weight. There's so much of that on Tumblr that I had to get off of Tumblr. And I think that definitely will hurt kids now and in the future.
I just couldn't imagine being like 10 or 11 or 12, just being so young and looking through this and taking all these suggestions in. I'm 18 now, like I go through it and I know better, but I feel like you could get seriously hurt when you're young because you really just don't know any better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll just play back on what you said about how little kids don't know better. I saw a hack where it was like scoop ice cream and it said microwave the spoon. Most children wouldn't know. And yeah, in cases like that, it does hurt me to be pro social media. But social media, I think it was always more intended for more discretion.
Like I have this friend named Jessie Page, and she is very, very like pro body positivity and like pro like mental health, you know, like really like I want to get better. That's why I keep all my posts up, because I want people to be able to go back and look. I wasn't on T for 3 years, you know, when I was out, you know, like I was fully out and like fighting for myself to start hormones. My friend Jessie too, she also puts before and after. She always puts like, this is the real me.
Do you think social media has changed your life?
100%. I don't think I would be the person I am if it wasn't for social media. I first came out on TikTok and my parents didn't even know. That's how they found out, actually.
Yeah.
Under the age of 13 should not be allowed.
Probably, yeah. Because I think Yeah, because I think 13 is a bit too, wait, but I think it's just too young because you don't know a lot of stuff. It's very easy to be like manipulated. It's very easy to like, be manipulated and get like things wrong and stuff and not understand certain things. So definitely, yeah. Or maybe even like I'd say something like maybe 15. The age range of like 15 to 17, I think, is probably like an okay age range to allow kids on.
Well, it's kind of funny because I talk to a lot of organizations with Log Off, and the main point that they try to get across is that they're trying to advocate for kids to get cell phones and technology and social media at an older age. And you know, years ago I would have said, that's really stupid. That's like the drug talk. Like, don't do drugs, don't be on social media. I'm not gonna listen to that. But then after years of kind of self-reflection, I wish someone would have said, you don't need Instagram to have a social life.
If I go back to like my 13-year-old self and like I didn't have all the experiences I had and I just kind of knew like, oh, it's a good place, I would be posting God knows what, right? Kids are dumb. And if you give kids a platform to do whatever they want, they're gonna be dumb.
There's no educational advocacy out there to actually allow for that to happen. And when they are there, it's this older teacher who like has a completely different outlook on social media because they never existed in an age where it was your life.
You know, I just feel like it's just unrealistic. When I was 13, I was fully on social media, making videos every single day. So I just feel like, if anything, it helped me more when I was 13. Like, it really allowed me to just know what things were and not be so, what is going on? Like, you know, not knowing a lot of things.
Because like I was on social media at like 11 years old. Like I was a child and on social media. And my dad told me, he was like, you know, but you're also trans and you're also like LGBT, you know, you need to be able to meet people because your bubble that you would know of trans people would be 0.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I think we're underestimating children. They're relentless. We put an age limit on Instagram or an age limit on like an adult type website. They're still gonna get through.
I didn't have social media. I was probably like the last couple people out of my like friends because my mom knew the restrictions and how the things that are on the internet is you can't control what other people are posting and you can't control what your kids are seeing. But I believe that like other kids mature at different ages and we can't really restrict certain people from going on this platform when it's public.
It's difficult because I do think what you said is true, where if I was 13 and someone said, you have to be 13 to get on this app or like you have to be older, I would have lied about my age. And I know there are millions of kids like that are like, break the system and would like put in a different age.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. With any problem, you can't just take the problem and move it over here.
Exactly.
It's all about the education. It should be a class, like how sex ed is. There should be like tech ed. You know?
Like computer lab days exist. Like, was that just my school? Like, there were computer lab days or
we
something.
Yeah, where we just practice typing.
Right, where you practice typing. Well, like instead of just practicing typing, practice how to not be an idiot online and like how to like learn and understand like the harm of it. Because like if I had that education, I know that like I would have like at least braced myself for it. Once COVID kind of hit, I realized like I need social media or else I can't like find anyone. I know some people that kind of think like when I say that I don't use social media a lot, they're like, oh, do you think you're cooler than us because you don't need like social media validation? But it's more like I'm afraid of if I search for that validation that I'm not gonna get it.
Social media has educated me more than my school has.
Well, I mean, I know it probably has done for other people. Probably. I don't know about me. I don't know. But I know it probably has done for others.
I know all schools, they don't talk about some deep topics that social media brings to light, and it teaches you how to get through it and how to do it without talking to your family if you are uncomfortable and without talking to the school because sometimes schools don't have that education in place.
My teacher told everyone that RuPaul's Drag Race was a good example of trans people. Of course, like I got in trouble for like correcting him or whatever, but it was like I could not let him spread fake information like that because those are not trans people, those are drag queens, and that is a totally different topic. I'm very far in my transition for 16, and social media definitely helped me a lot.
Yeah. And then the fact that you even got in trouble for that shows that school is that like, you know, they're lacking.
you know, personal experience is how you learn the most. You know, you go on social media and there's someone talking about this eating disorder, this depression that they went to. It's just someone actually talking to a camera, giving you real advice that a school really could never do.
I want to preface it with I am kind of like, I'm very lucky. The school that I go to, Altamont, is like a private school in Alabama, and they're very, very good with kind of integrating these conversations into the academic dialogue. I totally agree with everything y'all have said. I've learned how to rainbow loom, and I've done a bunch of different things on social media, but I've also looked up like election, and there's been misinformation after misinformation, and with COVID. So for y'all that answered, how do you kind of outweigh like the chance to learn a bunch of new things with also the chance of seeing a lot of stuff that isn't necessarily true?
I think you just have to look for credible websites. I mean, it's just like when you're doing an essay, you wouldn't believe, just feel like blogs, any of that kind of stuff. It is easy to get a lot of misinformation, but it's also easy to see that this information is fake.
But what about like a young kid that can't really discern that? Because I feel like that's the thing.
My dad actually put the Washington Post and the New York Times on my phone so that I would look at it more, so I would get the notifications. You know, all I had to do was put it on my phone.
There have been times when I've disagreed with what the teacher said, and that is true, but I also think that with social media, with the algorithm in place, it's harder to discern.
I disagree with you, just because I feel like as kids we look up to our teachers for the right answers, and if they are like providing like a biased answer, we're getting the wrong information.
If you've taken a political science class, there will be times where the teacher's own political beliefs might make the learning bias. So comparable to social media, it's about the same.
Yeah, but I think it's more dangerous on social media, because I agree it is very dangerous in the classroom, especially when you look up to teachers. With the algorithm, they don't have that humanity to actually discern like, oh, this is an article about how masks aren't important. So like, but I'm gonna pump that out.
But I would disagree with you for that exact reason, because it's just one human, one way of life, one perspective, one thought, you know. But at least when you go on social media and you put up Trump, it's gonna come up both sides of the story. You know, and it's up to you to differentiate and read it and see, okay, this comes from this credible website and this is coming from a blog on Wikipedia.
What if we're talking about like just a straightforward thing like math, science, or English? Sometimes you can get like a cruddy teacher and they won't really teach you that well. You just type that into social media, they'll ring it right up.
I've never actually been helped by a math teacher. I mean, photo math was the only thing that helped me. I mean, and it's not even like it only gave me the answers. I mean, you scrolled up and it literally showed you step by step what it does, and you look for the reasoning. Here's the reasoning.
And sometimes if I have a lot of trouble with like an assignment or something, I'll actually like post a picture of it and I'll be like, hey, like I am really bad in this subject. Every single time people do message me and help me out, or like will comment and be like, hey, like actually this is what you're doing wrong and this is how you do it right.
I've never thought about that. Going to social media, going to like online forums to like get like people's opinions on how to like work out maths questions. You know, I don't need it because I've finished, well, I say I finished maths. I failed it, but I'm not doing it again because I can't be asked. I'll spend all my education doing maths. I maybe not passed it, but the fact that I've now, I mean, the fact that now I don't have to do it again, I'm fucking taking it. Cause I ain't getting, if I've not got it by now, then I don't think I'm gonna ever get it. Anyway, but I was just saying that, like, yeah, I've never thought about that idea.
Society would thrive more without social media.
I don't know.
I don't know if I do.
Smashers Dino Island Epic Game. Smash them to find over 25 surprises. There's 2 dinos to collect.
For me, on a macro scale, I think there are some really troubling signs that social media is kind of unwinding society and humanity in the sense of like the democracy debate. Governments can use social media to then kind of undermine elections. And I think those are bigger issues when you look at the macro scale. But again, on the micro scale, there are so many different people in the world that would thrive with it.
I know other people that are like me. I think I would thrive more without social media because I compare myself and I look for those likes and look for those comments on my posts. And I feel like if I didn't have that concern, my mental health and my self-love and self-image would be so much better if I didn't see all this stuff on the internet.
A part of me wants to ask for like a definition for like thrive, because like are we talking about like us as like a human race or like people individually? Instagram and things can like put like make you have poor body image and this that, but also like in the case of like Alex, you know, it helps him, you know, meet other trans people and understand that like he isn't alone, right? And so it's such a general question question with so many variables that like you
Yeah.
can't just like put one answer down.
Yeah, you need
It's
to-
so case by case.
You need to know if it's on the micro, macro scale.
And you know, like Alex is a following that is a lot of other trans kids that are looking for other trans kids. And if Alex just went MIA for a month, people would panic, you know. And like, you know, like I can totally like. Sorry to like keep using you, but like this is like the easiest like analogy, right? I'm sorry, Alex. I love you. I promise.
Wonderful.
I was just like,
No,
this
no,
is just like
don't
the
worry.
easiest example.
I have a question actually. So in the recent months especially, there have been a lot of protests and stuff that were, like a lot of them were created online, and I think that if we didn't have social media, a lot of them wouldn't have been possible because there wouldn't have been the word spread so fast.
I agree. Yes, these protests got really big and it's really important. But the thing that I've kind of been looking at is the people that go and take a picture and go like, oh my God, like I'm so supportive, and like they change their profile picture, they do the Blackout Tuesday, and then a week later it gets archived. When people go with like professional grade cameras and like bring a hair and makeup team to like sit there and like pose in the middle of the street, like it's less of the movement and more of the social media.
And yeah, and I think that's also a perspective thing, because I think there was maybe one or two major influencers who were dumb enough to take a production team out there to take a picture. And I think that was for people like you guys who are anti-social media to focus, be like, wow, let's see, look at all these influencers. It's the whole entire community is just like them. And I was in New York for a couple days, and I was in like Washington Square or something. They were passing out flyers. They're like, hey, share this on your Snapchat if you know anyone in New York. And I wasn't only in New York for like 2 days, but I posted it, and I got like, I don't know, like 40,000 people on Snapchat to watch it, and if they were in New York, they could go.
By these like performative parts, I'm not talking only influencers. Like, yes, that is a big part, and it is very troublesome when influencers do like kind of go out and like pose for like the picture rather than for the protest. But when people are kind of seeing like, oh, this is trendy, and when people have that desire to like go viral, they'll go out and they'll do it.
But here's like a scenario. What if me, Alex and Alexa, we all just teamed up, we did like a charity stream and then donated to, let's just throw back to like early 2020 where there was like fires. Wouldn't California or Australia thrive from us donating?
I do agree that social media does like promote awareness and it helps change, and definitely in our society because everyone's on social media. So if they see this and it gets spread, it's going to make change.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I made like the log off movement, is because I saw that there was this multifaceted nature about social media, and I at least just wanted to discuss it with teens and to be like, let's figure out how to exist in a healthier way. And even though social media, we can talk about the good and the bad all day, it's just nice to be in one space and have one conversation.
I mean, yeah, technically social media did bring us here, so I guess that's a good thing. But like, hey, we don't have to talk about that.
Well, oh my god. Well, I know for sure that's gonna be the last video that I play because I am getting knackered. Interesting video, a lot of different perspectives there, which I cannot possibly comment on all of them because I don't have that much of a just educated capacity to answer them all. But they did bring up a lot of good points. I think at the end of the day, I think the best thing is to just be just to be at least educated about this a lot of things. Like there are going to be those who use the social media for bullshit reasons and stuff. But I think as long as you're educated enough to recognize what they are, then I think then it's alright. I don't know. My only final thoughts is that I kind of agree with everything these guys kind of saying. I can't really explain why. I just do. Hey, I'd be interested to see what you guys think of all this and anything that I've said. If you agree or disagree, and if you disagree or agree with anything any of the people in the video have said. Again, as per usual, middle ground rules apply in the comments, so no slandering or putting down or responding negatively to different people's opinions or beliefs. It's just a place for calm debate for people to exchange opinions and beliefs. And on that note, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, Sergeant Beckett. If you'd like, in the description of this video there's a link to my Linktree. In that Linktree you can find links to places such as other social medias, Discord servers, websites, and a lot of other things as well for you all to enjoy. So thank you all so much again for watching, and I shall see you all in the next video. Adios.